From the Detroit Free Press, it's Monday, February 15th. Here are today's top stories, presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Calling all foodies, Bush's is hiring. Are you passionate about food, looking for growth, development, and excellent wages? Come grow with Bush's and apply online at bushes.com/join-our-team. That's Bush's, BUSCHS.com/join-our-team.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Kerry Jr. II. Michigan health officials are aiming to vaccinate 70% of residents 16 and older. Both officials and the general public are responsible for making that happen. Officials must ensure the vaccine is available and accessible, and the public has to take them. But misinformation about vaccines could potentially disrupt those efforts. Free Press reporter Clara Hendrickson has details that should clear up some of the confusion. Clara, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Will the vaccine protect you from COVID-19, and will the vaccine protect others as well if you were to get it?
So this is actually an information gap rather than misinformation. You know, we've all sort of had to become citizen epidemiologists over the last year or so. And we're all learning things like, how do vaccines work? And yes, the vaccine works by triggering an immune response that prevents against infection. And the more people who get vaccinated helps protect the rest of society, because when most of the population is immune, the spread of an infectious disease becomes less likely. I think it's really important just to get a sense of how the vaccine actually is going to protect you from this infectious disease.
Is the vaccine necessary if you've already been exposed to the virus?
Sure. So some folks are claiming that if you've already been infected and you've recovered from COVID-19, that it's not necessary to get vaccinated. But the CDC is recommending that those who have already had COVID-19 get vaccinated.
There's been misinformation about reactions to the vaccine. What are they saying, and what's the correct info there?
There have been instances of severe reactions to the vaccine, but those have been really rare. And I think it is important to remember that millions of Americans have been vaccinated without any serious or lasting side effects, and that one story doesn't support evidence that the vaccine isn't safe, which are the kinds of claims that we're seeing online based on just a single person's experience.
As it relates to fatalities around the vaccine, what is the truth?
So there are posts that are inaccurately claiming that the vaccine is deadly. The CDC and the Food and Drug Administration are tracking deaths following vaccination, but these reported deaths should not be assumed to have been caused by the vaccine, and investigations into the deaths are underway.
Right. So I guess what we're saying too is it's not clear. Just because someone passes away after they've gotten the dose, we don't yet know what the source of that death is.
Right. It's a timing association rather than a causal association.
COVID-19 is more lethal than the flu. What's going on there?
That is correct. COVID-19 is more lethal than the flu. The average number of deaths from the flu each year over the past decade is about 36,000, according to the CDC. And we know that just over a year into the coronavirus pandemic in the U.S., over 470,000 Americans have died from COVID-19.
But in addition to the Detroit Free Press, where else can people find factual information about vaccines?
Sure. So as I mentioned, Michigan Medicine put together a really helpful summary of facts about the vaccine. I recommend checking that one out. The CDC website has a whole page devoted to myths and facts about the vaccine. But I'd also highly recommend a website called infodemic.blog, and that teaches you how to sort fact from fiction when you're online, so that you can not only stay alert and vigilant while you're online and potentially encountering misinformation, but you can help others do so.
Clara Hendrickson, thank you for keeping our readers, our listeners informed and with the facts. So thank you for talking with me.
Thank you very much.
Here are the latest coronavirus numbers. The Michigan Health Department reported 852 new cases of the coronavirus and 88 new deaths Saturday. The state averaged 938 cases and 37 deaths over a 7-day period. In total, the health department has reported over 574,000 cases and over 15,000 deaths since March. For more information on COVID-19 in Michigan, go to www.freep.com.
This is Marlo Alter of the Detroit Free Press with an update on the return of Michigan basketball. The turning point in number 3 Michigan's 67-59 win at number 21 Wisconsin on Sunday afternoon involved an outstretched elbow and guard Mike Smith's face. With just over 18 minutes remaining and the Wolverines trailing by 10, Smith, a Michigan senior guard, went up to contest Brad Davison's layup. Davison's attempt missed, but his left elbow did not, connecting squarely with Smith's head. The point guard went down in a heap on his own baseline, as Michigan head coach Juwan Howard objected and was called for a technical foul. Up until that moment, the Wolverines, who were playing their first contest in 23 days after the spread of COVID-19 within the athletic program, looked predictably rusty. They trailed by 12 at halftime and seemed in danger of being blown out. After Wisconsin made one of two free throws following the technical foul, Howard called a play for Smith, who scored a shot to ignite a 35-16 run and an improbable comeback victory for Michigan. After the game, Howard said the moment and the ensuing response was a testament to his team's culture.
It was nice to see that they all rallied together, and it was a big, huge test of our culture. But our number one thing in our culture, the word that we say and we believe in, is that we all are family. And it just goes to show you, family got tested.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. If you're a fan and want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to freep.com/special offer.